Pixar's made some great films, but they've also made some not so great films. So now with the release of Onward, we're going to be talking about all 22 Pixar movies and rank them from the very worst to the very best. And don't worry, I won't be spoiling anything about Onward, and neither should you, but you should definitely jump down into the comment section and let me know what are your thoughts on all of Pixar. What is your ranking of all 22 films, if you have seen them all? If you have, good on you. If you haven't, definitely check some of them out. Some of them are absolutely amazing. If some of the ones that I put at the bottom of the list are ones that you haven't checked out, you can probably set them aside. But anyways, I don't want to waste any time. Let's get right into this ranking. But first, make sure to jump down, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any rankings like this in the future, or reviews, reactions, and a bunch of cool series that I like to do on the channel. Okay, now we're getting started. At the very bottom at number 22, A Bug's Life. Just never really worked for me. There's a similar movie to this, which I can't remember the name of. Let me know if you guys know the name of this movie, because I just can't seem to remember it. But I much rather prefer that over this. This just doesn't feel like Pixar. It just doesn't feel like Pixar to me. And number 21, here come the hate comments. Monsters, Inc. Not a fan. No, I was never a fan of this movie. I like some of the themes within it. I like some of the characters. Just not a movie that I like overall. Just nothing here really kind of works for me. Number 20, Cars 2. This is one that some of you were probably expecting. Cars 2 just... I didn't think it could get worse than the first Cars, but it did. Somehow. I do think some of the racing sequences are kind of nice, though. I kind of like some of the racing sequences, but other than that, the film's absolute trash. Just like number 19, which is the first Cars movie. I know somebody who thinks this is one of their favorite movies, and there's nothing wrong with that. I just don't feel that way at all. I never liked this movie. Some of the themes within it work well. I can see what they were trying to do, but it's just too mediocre for me. And number 18, Brave. This movie did nothing to make me feel brave. Absolutely nothing. I like the premise and I like the story that they've got. It's a strong start. It's just not executed very well. I mean, some movies that Pixar did just aren't very good. Brave is one of them. At number 17, Monsters University. I like it more than Monsters, Inc. because it's a college movie. It's more fun. It's got a good atmosphere around it, just like every single college movie. I like how it's kind of different from Monsters, Inc., but the places where it's similar just kind of bring it down for me. Some of it works, some of it doesn't. Overall, just kind of average. It's kind of an average movie. I'll tell you what's above average, Finding Dory. Finally getting into some movies that are actually good. Finding Dory is a movie that works well enough. It's kind of bottom of the barrel good. Like, everything that is good starts after Finding Dory. Finding Dory is like as low good as you can possibly get. I don't know how to explain it. It's confusing. Finding Dory, good, not great. I think I give it like a B- or a B. Good movie, just don't like it a lot. Number 15, Wall-E. Yeah, here are some more hate comments. The second half is really the part that kind of works for me. The first half just is a bit boring for me. I don't like the romance. I'm sorry, I'm just not a romance guy. That's just not my thing. Wall-E, some great themes within it, some great ideas. Some of them play out well, some of them don't play out well, but overall, this one does sit well with me. At number 14, The Good Dinosaur. I think this is the most underrated movie possibly in the entirety of Pixar. The ending almost got me, just like every single other Pixar movie, except the ones that I mentioned towards the bottom. The Good Dinosaur, I love the relationship between Arlo and the kid. I forgot his name, sorry. I love the relationship between Arlo and his father and the impact his father has on his life. I do think it's very underrated, and I definitely think it's in the top 15. At number 13 is Cars 3. Massive improvement over the first two movies. There's just something about this one that feels a bit dark. It feels a bit more grounded. It feels realistic. There are some actual stakes at times, and Cars 3 is a movie that I was not expecting to be good, but that trailer really got me hooked. I really do like Cars 3 quite a bit. At number 12 is going to be the first Toy Story movie. Don't worry, it's halfway through the list, but I really love it because it's an A+ for me. I think this movie is probably near perfect. There are some little gripes and nitpicks that I have with it, but overall, just wow, Pixar's first movie, one of Pixar's best, even though it's not their best for me. A lot of things work really well with this one, and I'm a huge fan of Toy Story 1. There are a lot of movies that I like more, but Toy Story, definitely a huge win. At number 11, almost at the top 10, is Up. The beginning sequence, tough. The ending, tough. A lot of this movie is really tough, and it can get a bit generic at times, but the parts that's really Pixar, wow. The music so memorable. The dun 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 dun. That's great. I love the main lead character. I love all the characters pretty much. This is a really special movie. Cracking into the top 10, we are at Ratatouille. Ratatouille is a movie that I also think is really underrated. I watched this, I think, last year sometime. I think it was like on live TV. And I was so amused by it. I mean, I rewatched it. I'd seen it before, I'm just saying. I just never really felt this way about this movie before, but I watched it and I was like, wow, why isn't this appreciated more? There are some things that can get frustrating, but they want you to be frustrated by them. All the emotions work well. It's just such a good recipe for a good movie. At number 9, Coco. When this movie came out, I was like, wow. Wow. Pixar endings are the best endings, honestly, because every single ending really gets an emotional choke out of you, really makes you want to hold back those tears, and that's apparent here. I love the use of culture. I love the differentness, just how different it is from everything else. I love the song. The music is really good, but I love the songs. I love Coco so much. At number 8, Toy Story 2. There aren't very many sequels that I like more than the originals. Toy Story 2 is definitely one of those sequels that I like more than the original. Toy Story 2 is probably one of Pixar's funniest movies. It's got some dark comedy at times, and it's just a movie that really does do exactly what it's supposed to, and that is to be better than the first one. At number 7, Finding Nemo. Fun story. I actually used to be scared of this movie as a child. It's really strange. I don't know why I was scared of it, but I just was. Finding Nemo is just a story of a father trying to find his son, and it's so moving, and it's so relatable. All of Pixar's movies are so relatable, and Finding Nemo is no exception. Finding Nemo is one of my favorite childhood favorites. Yeah, one of my favorite childhood favorites. And I'd rewatch it any chance I'd get. At number 6, Inside Out. Almost at the top 5, guys. Almost at the top 5. Inside Out is it's a fantastic movie. It's so original. The imagination involved with creating this movie is amazing. Inside Out turned my heart inside out. It just grabbed it and it was like, because of Bing Bong and just, finally getting into the top 5. At number 5, Incredibles 2. Not as good as the first one. Not as good as the first one, I will say. But Incredibles 2. Perfect follow-up. Perfect sequel. Just, wow. This is what I had been waiting 14 years for. This is what I had been waiting for. This is the movie I needed to further the story of one of my favorite movies of all time. Perfect follow-up. I love how it picks up right after the first one's ending. Jack in this movie and his powers. I will say it's got better action than the first one. There's a lot of things that are better than the first one, but the movie overall is not better. But it is definitely top 5 Pixar. Number 4 is going to be Toy Story 4. I thought this movie was nearly perfect the first time I saw it. Right now, not as good as I first remember, but wow, Toy Story 4. Hilarious. Definitely Pixar's funniest movie. The ending hit me hard. I was not expecting it. Such a great movie. Definitely a worthy follow-up to Toy Story 3. A necessary entry that we needed to kind of close out the story of the toys. One of my favorite movies of 2019. Getting to the top 3. At number 3, we have got Toy Story 3. The ending that still makes me cry. Toy Story 3 is animated filmmaking at its best, along with, classics like The Lion King. This movie is one of Pixar's finest. This movie, the characters and the way they work together and the relationships in this movie and how they differ from the other movies, it's truly something special, and Pixar made an animated classic. That scene when they're about to be thrown into the furnace is one of the most powerful scenes I have seen in animation ever. At number 2, we've only got 2 movies left. And some of you may be surprised by my number 1, but my number 2 is The Incredibles. The Incredibles is one of my favorite childhood movies. I rewatched it all the time, probably seen it over 100 times. And I'm gonna watch it again real soon. And The Incredibles is incredible. It really is. It's one of the best superhero films ever made. It proves that you don't need to be based on a comic book in order to be a good superhero movie. In fact, I don't know where he's right here. I still have the Mr. Incredible toy. I still have him. It's crazy. But at number 1, I might get some backlash for this. I might, but I'm not scared. I'm confident in my decision of putting this movie at number 1. This is how I feel. And I hate to be the guy. I hate being the guy that puts the new movie at the number 1 of the list. But Onward's my favorite Pixar movie. I'm getting chills about it, just talking about it right now. I think Onward is perfection. It really is. There's not a single thing about this movie that doesn't work. The characters are so likable. The relationship that these two brothers have almost made me cry, and then the ending almost made me cry again. It's funny, it's hilarious, it's a road trip movie. I was thinking, like, I don't really want to go through this movie. I don't like road trip movies all that much, but it made it work. The entire quest, the spectacle of it all, the magical element, I loved it. Now, I know Sandro Productions, or his channel is now Film Geeks, but Trevor Sandro from Sandro Productions, now known as Film Geeks, he agrees with me. He does. I know you do. He said it's also his favorite Pixar movie. He said it's Pixar's best movie. I agree. Please don't hate me for putting the new movie at number 1. I hate doing that. I did it with Far From Home when it first came out, but then I rewatched it and I was like, okay, it's not as good. Spider-Verse is better and all that. And I might change this later, but as of right now, Onward is the best Pixar movie. Onward is the best Pixar movie for me. And anyways, guys, that is going to be it for this ranking. I know it was a lot of movies, a lot of good movies to talk about, but let me know in the comment section down below, what are your thoughts on this ranking? Do you agree with it? If you don't, let me know what your list is in the comment section down below. Did you like Onward as much as I did? Or do you think it's somewhere in the middle? Or do you think it's towards the bottom? I would love to hear your thoughts. If you did enjoy this video, smash that like button, hit the subscribe button as well, and click that notification bell so you don't miss rankings like this one in the future, or reactions, reviews, and a bunch of cool series that I like to do on the channel. If you like this video, you'll probably like some of the other rankings that I've done in the past. You can click that playlist to check those out, or you can click that random video up top, or you can click that playlist down there, or you can click the subscribe button down there. I will see you in the next one. Until then, have a great rest of your day and stay positive.